I didn't go to Alice's funeral. I was pregnant at the time, crazy and wild with grief, but it wasn't Alice I grieved for. No, I hated Alice by then and was glad that she was dead. It was Alice who had ruined my life, taken the best thing I'd ever had and smashed it into a million unfixable pieces. I wasn't crying for Alice, but because of her. But now, 4 years later and a lifetime happier, finally settled into a comfortable and routine life with my daughter Sarah, my sweet, oh so serious little Sarah, I sometimes wish that I had made it to Alice's funeral after all. The thing is, I see Alice sometimes, at the supermarket, at the gates of Sarah's kindergarten, at the club where Sarah and I sometimes go for a cheap meal. I catch glimpses of Alice's glossy corn blonde hair, her model-like body, her eye-catching clothes from the corner of my eye, and I stop to stare, my heart pounding. It only takes me an instant to remember that she is dead and gone, that it can't possibly be her, but I have to force myself to get closer, to reassure myself that her ghost isn't haunting me. Close up, these women are sometimes similar, albeit never as beautiful as Alice. More frequently though, on closer inspection, they look nothing like her. I turn away and get on with whatever I was doing before, but all the warmth will have drained from my face and lips. My fingertips will tingle unpleasantly with adrenaline. My day is, invariably, ruined. I should have gone to the funeral. I wouldn't have had to cry or feign despair. I could have laughed bitterly and spat into the pit. Who would have cared? If only I'd seen them lower her casket into the ground, watched them throw the dirt into her grave, I would be more certain that she was really dead and buried. I would know, deep down inside, that Alice was gone for good. Do you want to come? Alice Parry is looking down, smiling. It's lunchtime and I'm sitting beneath a tree, alone, absorbed in a book. Sorry? I shade my eyes and look up. Come where? Alice hands me a piece of paper. I take it and read. It's a brightly coloured photocopy of an invitation to Alice's 18th birthday party. Come one and come all. Bring your friends, it reads. Free champagne, free food. Only someone as popular and self-assured as Alice would issue such an invitation. Anyone more ordinary would feel as if they were begging for guests. Why me, I wonder? I know of Alice. Everyone knows of Alice. But I've never spoken to her before. She's one of those girls. Beautiful, popular, impossible to miss. I fold the invitation in half and nod. I'll try. It sounds like fun. I lie. Alice looks at me for a few seconds. Then she sighs and plonks herself down next to me, so close that one of her knees rests heavily against mine. You will not, she grins. I feel my cheeks begin to colour. Even though my entire life can sometimes feel like a facade, a wall of secrets, I'm not good at lying. I look down at my lap. Probably not. But I want you to come, Katherine, she says. It'd really mean a lot to me. I'm surprised that Alice even knows my name, but it's even more surprising, in fact quite unbelievable, that she wants me to come to her party. I'm practically unknown at Drummond High and have no close friends. I come and go quietly, alone, and get on with my studies. I try to avoid bringing attention to myself. I do well enough, but my grades aren't exceptional. I play no sport, have joined no clubs. And though I know I can't do this forever, live my entire life as a shadow, for now it suits. I'm hiding. I know that. I'm being a coward. But right now I need to be invisible, to be the kind of person who arouses no curiosity. That way they need never know who I really am or what has happened. I close my book and start to pack away my lunch things. Wait! Alice puts a hand on my knee. I look at her as coldly as I can and she withdraws it. I'm serious. I really do want you to come. And I think what you said to Dan last week was fantastic. I really wish I could think of things like that to say, but I never can. I'm just not quick enough. You know, I never would have thought about that woman's feelings like that, not until I heard you tell Dan off. I mean, you were great. What you said was just so right. And you really showed him up to be the idiot that he is. I know immediately what Alice is referring to. The one and only time I'd let my guard down, momentarily forgotten myself. I don't often confront people anymore. In fact, it's something I try very hard to avoid in my day-to-day life. But the way Dan Johnson and his friends had behaved 2 weeks ago had disgusted me so much that I couldn't help myself. We had a guest speaker talking about career planning and university admissions. Admittedly, the speech was boring. We'd heard it all a billion times before, and the woman talking was nervous, and so she stuttered and hesitated and talked in confusing circles, only becoming worse as the crowd became noisier, more restless. Dan Johnson and his group of creepy friends had taken advantage of her. They were so cruel and deliberately disruptive that the woman ended up leaving in humiliated tears. When it was all over, I stood behind Dan in the hallway and tapped him on the shoulder. Dan turned around with a smug, self-satisfied look on his face, clearly anticipating some kind of approbation for his behaviour. "Did it ever occur to you," I started, my voice surprisingly strong, fueled by anger, "how much you've hurt that woman? This is her life, Daniel, her career, her professional reputation. Your pathetic cry for attention means a whole lot of humiliation for her." "I feel sorry for you, Daniel. You must be very sad and small inside to need to bring someone down like that, someone you don't even know." "You are amazing," Alice continues. "And to be honest, I was totally surprised. I think everyone was. No one speaks to Dan like that," she shakes her head. "No one." "Well, I do," I think to myself. "At least the real me does. It was admirable, courageous." And it's that word that does it. Courageous. I so want to be courageous. I so want the coward in me to be obliterated and smashed and destroyed that I can no longer resist her. I stand up and hook my bag over my shoulder. "Okay," I say, surprising myself. "Okay, I'll come." Alice has hired the ballroom at the top of the Lion Hotel. It is huge and grand, with enormous timber windows and magnificent views of the city. There are white balloons, white tablecloths, a band. There are caterers polishing champagne glasses and platters of expensive-looking finger food. And because it's a private party, no one asks for ID when Alice gets both a glass of champagne. "This is fantastic." I look at Alice curiously. "Did your mum and dad do all of this for you?" "No," Alice snorts dismissively. "They wouldn't know how to host a barbecue, let alone something like this." "Do they live in Sydney?" I ask. "Who?" she frowns. "Your parents." No, they don't, thank God. They live up north." I wonder how Alice can afford to live in Sydney, how she pays her rent. I had assumed that her parents supported her, but it now seems unlikely. "Anyway," I say, "it's very nice of you to put on a big party like this for your friends. I don't think I could ever be so generous. I'd rather spend the money on myself, a world trip or something cool like that." "Generous? You reckon?" Alice shrugs. "Not really. I love parties, particularly when they're all about me. I couldn't think of anything better. And anyway, I'm not interested in going overseas." "You're not?" "I don't know anyone there. Nobody knows me. What would be the point?" "Oh," I laugh. I wonder if she's joking. I can think of a few good things about it. Swimming in the Mediterranean, seeing the Eiffel Tower, the Great Wall of China, the Statue of Liberty, and not knowing anyone. Imagine how liberating that must be. I notice that Alice is looking at me skeptically. "Are you seriously not interested?" "Nah, I like it here. I like my friends, I love my life. Why would I want to leave?" I'm going to tell her of my intense curiosity about the rest of the world, the fascination I have with different languages and ways of living, with the history of the human race. But we are interrupted by the arrival of her first guests. "Alice, Alice," they cry, and she is suddenly surrounded by people. Some I recognise from school, older people I've never seen before. Some are dressed very formally in long jeans and suits and ties. Others are dressed casually in jeans and t-shirts. But they all have one thing in common. They all want a piece of Alice, a moment of her time. They all want to be the focus of her attention, make her laugh. They all, without exception, want her to like them. And Alice spreads herself around, makes all her guests feel welcome and comfortable. But for some reason it's me she chooses to spend most of the evening with. She keeps her arm linked through mine, drags me from group to group and involves me in every conversation. We dance together and gossip about what different people are wearing, who they are flirting with, who seems to be attracted to whom. I have a wonderful time. It's more fun than I've had in years. And while I'm there, I don't think of my sister once, nor of my devastated parents. I dance and laugh and flirt. I forget temporarily about the night I realised the awful truth about myself. I forget all about the night I discovered the shameful, grubby coward at the core of my soul.